People say there aren't any heroes anymore, but I don't know. I say they're all around us. You just have to know where to look. For starters, there's Perseus. He's the guy who cut off Medusa's head and saved Andromeda from the sea monster. Then there's Pegasus, the immortal winged horse, swooping in out of nowhere to help destroy a fire-breathing beast. And finally, over the skies of Wellsville, you can spot the Artie constellation. Where Artie came from, no one knows. But ever since he arrived in our town, evil has had to haul butt.
19 o'clock, and all left. His pipe.
Artie's a suburban superhero with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. No one knows the full extent of his mutant arsenal. But if you ask me, his most amazing power of all is this one. His friendship with my brother Pete. It's a titanium-reinforced bond that over the years has given them the strength to vanquish every villain that's gotten in their way, from a maniac schnauzer to the Atlantic Ocean. But unfortunately, there are villains in this world, and then there are supervillains. The difference being that supervillains usually won't stop until they destroy the superhero they're after, as well as the legend he left behind.
Or have you picked your target yet? Isn't it? Does your dog bite? Isn't it? Isn't it? Does your dog bite?
Superheroes, if they're really super, always have super villains to worry about. For Superman, it was Lex Luthor. For the Fantastic Four, Dr. Doom. For Artie, the strongest man in the world, it was these skank weevils. Name, paper cut. Occupation, school bully. Powers? Like his name says, he's the master of the paper cut. If you get in his way, you better like the sight of your own blood. We'll cut back to him in just a bit. To get this story going, I better brief you on this scuzzmaster. Name, John McFlimp. Occupation, aluminum siding salesman. His powers? He's a master salesman who knows every trick in the book.
My doctor says if I keep doing these demonstrations, my heart is going to burst like a bad melon. But hey, no pressure.
Like a bad melon. Silly.
Being a super salesman, he had the power to sell adults on the idea that Artie was a menace to society. Rumor has it that McFlimp was sent to our town by a secret anti-kid organization called the International Adult Conspiracy in order to deal with the Artie problem once and for all.
The cabin boy, that dirty little nipper.
He filled his pants with fire ants and cauterized the skipper.
All right, matey.
Adults in our area have always been a little afraid of Artie. The problem is, what they can't understand, they can't control.
I hate canoes.
For years, they were powerless to do anything about Artie. But then came McFlimp. After analyzing the situation closely for a few weeks, McFlemp realized there was a weak link in Artie's line of defense. Our dad.
Why me?
Parker! Murph! Come here, boys!
Joyce, don't encourage them.
McFlemp knew if he could just get to Dad, he could get to Artie.
Hey, Don!
And being the master salesman that he was, he knew exactly how to exploit Dad's weaknesses.
Hey, John, I see your son is vacuuming the yard.
Actually, he's reseeding it. Yeah, he came up with this idea of filling the vacuum with grass seed, then running the darn thing in reverse.
Oh, wow, you've got quite a son there.
Don't think I don't know that, Don. Now, what about your son?
Well, what about him?
Well, may not be any of my business, but you think it's a good idea for your son to be hanging around a lunatic like that Artie character?
Oh, I don't know about that, John. I mean, it's not every boy who gets to have his very own personal superhero.
Oh, that's where I think you're wrong, Don. Maybe I'm a little old-fashioned, but I've always believed that a boy's superhero should be his dad. Right, son?
Right, Dad. I mean, super Dad. Why are we doing this, Dad?
Now, it may surprise you, son, but, you know, your old dad is something of a superhero himself. It just so happens I'm probably the fastest, most efficient gutter cleaner in town, possibly the world. Now, watch closely as I take this scraper.
Greetings, Rufy! What's the do?
Dad's trying to teach me how to clean gunk.
Gunk? Uncle Albert, gunk?
It's a father-son thing, Artie. Now, just keep your tights on. We'll be done in a couple hours.
Woo! Idea.
Now, son, as I was saying, you take the scraper.
Idea!
The real beauty is that it actually repels dirt.
They're beautiful.
Wrigley! Hey! Wrigley! This madness has to stop.
He got gunk in my suit.
I'm really sorry, everybody. You know, he's just Artie, you know? Look, if there's anything I can do to make it up to you folks.
Actually, there is, Don. I'm calling a meeting of concerned citizens to discuss the Artie situation. I'd like you to join us.
I can't go sneaking around my son's back, John.
No pressure, Don. I understand. I mean, if I cared absolutely nothing about our community, I'd make the same decision.
All right, I'll be there.
While McFlemp prepared for phase 2 of his plan, our other supervillain was about to begin phase 1. They say Papercut was born in the back of a copy shop. There was no one to play with, so he played with paper. He ended up cutting himself so many times, it did some kind of origami number on his brain. A brain that was capable of creating objects of great beauty, as well as objects of incredible pain. He was the king of the 7th grade, who ruled his domain with 3 simple words.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Smart move, mudhead. Paper beats rock. Now prepare for your punishment.
In the endless games he loved to play, he always threw paper, and everybody else always threw rock. They were too afraid not to. But then one day, everything changed.
Paper beats rock. Rock beats scissors. Scissors beat paper.
Shut up and throw, Drool Cup.
Rock, paper, scissors, throw. You have no idea what you have just done.
Think I do.
You will grant me a rematch, and you will go down.
I don't dive, you Scarfinger.
Then prepare to bleed.
Delightful. A delicious blend of tarragon, ginger, and some sort of seafood. Shellfish.
Artie!
Appearing in a timely fashion, seemingly from nowhere. Begone with you, Popey, before I fold you into some type of brochure.
Go recycle yourself, paper cut.
Oh boy, I guess you told me off. Very tough, Wrigley. You're a real butt kicker, all right. But I guess it's easy to be brave when you don't have to fight your own battles.
True to their source, Paper Cut's words left a paper cut in Pete's psyche. It was a small wound, but it was painful. And once it began to fester, it infected Pete's soul and soon threatened the future of one of the greatest friendships in the universe. The forces of darkness assembled to destroy Artie once and for all. The evil Paper Cut sliced a gash into the heart of Pete and Artie's friendship. And supervillain McFlemp had found the one weapon that could bring the strong man down.
Dad.
Don, glad you could make it. Come in. We just started.
Yesterday, I caught my son arm wrestling a slab of bacon. Said Artie taught him how?
That psycho Artie dared my Nona to go 2 days saying only the word boing.
Well, so, did she make it?
What about the shortcuts?
My shortcut's a 4-lane expressway with a scenic rest stop.
My son, John Jr., used the word pipe today. He looked at a flower and he said, pipe. That scares me, Don. Pipe?
It's not such a bad word.
You know, Don, it's that kind of attitude that's enabling that freak to destroy our youth.
Hey, I don't love the guy either, but I can't just make him go. I mean, even if I could, Pete'd kill me.
Don, I think the bottom line here is the mutant's gotta go, and you're the man to do it. But hey, no pressure.
Yet the pressure was on from all sides, now that Paper Cut was hacking away at the bond between Pete and Artie.
Hey, Buttercup, big play friend come to walk you home?
You bad son of Pope! I will fold you 7 times.
No, don't. Let's just go.
Okay. Leaving then. Shall we go the short way, boy?
Okay, you can take the short way. I'll see you later.
Eat! Gads, boy! Are you ailing?
No. I just want to take the long way home for a change.
Oh, change is good, Please. Long. Right. Shorty.
They had always taken Artie's shortcuts together, but something was different now, with Pete and with the neighborhood.
We're organized now, strong boy. Your days are numbered.
We're gonna stop you, sicko.
Hooey.
a superhero. Is everything pipe today?
Oh, all this pipe, metallic man.
You sideshow freak. You're finished in this town, strongest man in the world. Let's see you fight public opinion.
It's someone else complaining about Artie. Why do they keep calling you?
Got me. Take a message. I need to, go clean the gutters.
Pete? Honey, what's the matter?
As Dad was about to find out, Pete's problem with Artie gave him the solution he'd been looking for.
It's about Artie. I know he's my best friend and all. He's always there when I need him, but I don't know. Sometimes when he stands up for me, I feel like a wuss.
Nothing wrong with getting a little help, Pete. Artie is your superhero, right?
You don't get it. I mean, sometimes, I don't know, I just want to be my own Viking.
Yes!
It was too good to be true. The power of Pete and Artie's friendship was weakening. Dad figured if he moved fast, he could win Pete back forever. His plan? Have the best father-son day ever.
You know, the great thing about the box kite, it combines sound aerodynamics with grace and beauty.
You know what's great about my kite, Dad? Sound aerodynamics with stealth bomber technology.
Well, that's nice, son.
As Dad tried to sell himself to Pete, Ellen and I tried to sell the town on Artie. The new, improved Artie.
Boy!
Artie?
What?
I didn't want to tell you this before, but Pete's not coming. He and Dad went off first thing this morning.
But this is your big chance, Artie. We gotta get you moving. Come on.
Ma'am,
We're offering free thermally heated pre-moistened towelettes. Care of Wellsville's own superhero, Artie.
The strongest man.
In the world.
Meanwhile, Dad decided the time had come to move in for the kill.
You know, Pete, a boy is a bit like a kite. Sometimes he needs to fly free, fight his own battles, be his own Viking. Maybe a superhero can be like kite string, you know, holds the boy back.
Dad's words had scored a direct hit. The question was, would Pete crumble?
Maybe the boy needs to let go of that superhero.
Save your breath, Dad.
I'm just saying that...
Artie and me are best friends. That means forever. So live with it.
Thermally heated pre-moistened towelette?
This towelette is cold.
Yeah. I'll heat it on high. Hot as Mexico toad.
We're gonna run you out of town.
Artie's bombing.
Artie? Artie? I guess to adults, the new Artie was a lot like the old Artie. As far as our dad was concerned, they were both going down. It would be the most treacherous act in his life. But Dad didn't care. He was gonna ambush the strong man in his own backyard.
John? Came by for some sandwiches, didn't you? Yeah, you old softy.
Artie, we need to talk.
Yes, John! John, I'm all ears. All ears, my man. Go ahead.
Artie.
Good?
It's about Pete.
No Viking. Yes?
Yeah. You see, he needs a stable home life. I mean, well, here's what I mean. Pete's not a little boy anymore, you know? He needs to stand on his own, fight his own battles. Having a superhero around can stun his growth.
Ooh. Short?
Yeah, yeah. You see what I mean? It might be best for Pete if you were to leave town. He didn't have the heart to tell you himself. That's why he asked me. He wants you to go.
Oh, Don. Oh, Don. Hold me. Hold me, Don. Oh, Don, it hurts.
I'm not saying it would swallow a cow. I'm just saying it could.
Well, I once saw a snake swallow whole beef jerky.
Oh, that's such a load.
Hey, Pete, I didn't know your dad was pals with Artie.
He's not. Yeah, I thought Artie hates driving in cars.
He does.
I smell a bald skunk. Come on.
Well, this is the best thing for both of you.
Yeah.
Why, it'll give you a chance to start over, you know, a clean slate.
Whoa!
He's using evasive maneuvers. Wake up! Take shortcuts!
Crazy driving, Don.
So, Artie, how about those rising dividends in today's mutual funds?
Hey! You're a madman at the wheel, Don.
As he closed in, Pete finally understood what Dad had been getting at the day before.
Maybe that boy needs to let go of that superhero.
How did he know? He just felt it in his liver. If he didn't catch up with Artie, he'd never see him again.
My Viking! Don, he's calling me! Wow! He needs me! So pleasurable! Boy! Artie! Don, stop this pile at once, or I'll be forced to become strong with you.
Artie, no! Artie, don't go!
Please, I have to find out what the boy said!
He said, I'm afraid he said, please don't come back.
Oh,
You don't need to be a genius to know who was behind Pete's wipeout.
Nobody here to fight your battles, chicken breath. Just you, me, and my new ivory bond.
If your best friend had just been deported, and the international adult conspiracy put your world into a full Nelson headlock, and a raging maniac with a thing for rock, paper, scissors was about to paper cut you to shreds, you'd probably think it was the end too. But you'd be wrong. It was only the beginning. The news wasn't sent across the wire. No world leader had to use the hotline. But the fact is, Wellsville was on the verge of a crisis that threatened to wipe out the legend of a superhero. It all started when Artie, the strongest man in the world, was tricked into leaving town, leaving behind his all-time best friend. They were both betrayed by this man, a man we call Dad.
Pete didn't have the heart to tell you himself. That's why he asked me to do it. He wants you to go.
Oh, Don! Hold me!
Dad, a simple man in a complicated situation. Easy prey for the international adult conspiracy and a supervillain known as John McFlimp, a master salesman of aluminum siding who sold Dad on the idea that Artie was a bad influence on Pete. Meanwhile, another supervillain was on the loose. Papercut, a 7th grade samurai who vowed revenge after being faced by Pete.
You have no idea what you have just done.
And once Artie was out of the picture, our world crisis officially began.
Hey, smiling strange, you looking happily deranged. I can't be settled in bed, or have you picked your target yet? Hey, Sandy, don't you dog bite? Hey, Sandy.
Don't try crying for your superhero fungus lick. He's as gone as yesterday.
Chew foil, paper cut!
Let's cut to the chase, dinner mint. You owe me a rock, paper, scissors rematch.
We can play from now until doomsday, but I'll still throw scissors.
I wonder if Mr. Swan will help you change your mind. No? How about Mr. Shark?
Chase the tap, you sicko!
Very clever. But you know I'll be back. Next time, I'll be laminated.
Yeah, well, Artie will be back too, you toner breath. Come on.
But would Artie be back? Pete didn't want to panic yet. First, he had to get some answers.
All I know is that he wanted me to drop him off at the county line.
What?
Well, I'm as surprised as you, son. You know, he told me... Well, he told me he wanted to get on with his life. You know, settle down.
You're lying!
Maybe he just wants to spend time with, you know, people his own age.
I don't know what's going on here, but I'm gonna find him!
The search began with an all-points bulletin on Wart Radio.
He was last seen wearing flammable pajamas and an ankle bracelet with the name Hacksaw on it.
Ellen and I raised money for the mutant hunt by selling Artie merchandise, while Mom released Artie's favorite smell, tire air, to lure him back. If that didn't work, Pete was banking on the Artie light.
Hang on, Artie. I'll find you.
Meanwhile, Dad tried to be the strongest dad in the world, hoping he could be his son's new superhero.
I guess I won't be needing that wheelbarrow anymore, huh?
Solid. Never needs painting. Will last.
But it wasn't long before adults realized that even though Artie was gone, his spirit was stronger than ever.
What is this, son?
It's an Artie action land canoe.
Not even a dent.
It's got a 200-mile radius. If he's out there, he'll see it.
Come home, Artie.
The
cabin boy, the cabin boy. Mr. Bug? Hello, Mr. Buggy. Do you know that song?
Don, we got a problem. His powers are stronger than I thought.
The kids love him.
Oh. Not for long.
What are you gonna do?
Don't worry. Just take care of the light, and I'll do the rest.
20 what? My son will be on to this in a second.
Oh, don't worry. It'll throw just enough light to fool him. Now, tell me where you left Artie.
I don't feel right about this.
No pressure, Don. I mean, if winning back your son isn't that important to you, then that's okay. Really.
Well, good night, Mr. Bug.
McFlemp's diabolical plan to brainwash Artie into being an adult began the next morning.
Hello, Artie.
Yeah. Hello, sighting man.
How's every little thing?
Pipe.
Pipe! All right, that's great. Or should I say, pipe?
Yeah.
Look, Artie, I know we've had our differences in the past, but now I'm on your side. Oh, I know how hard it is to be going back and forth on your future, trying to switch horses midstream. That's why I'd like to be your friend and offer you a job.
All right. Too busy, too dang busy. Occupado.
Oh, no pressure, Artie. But if you act now, I'll throw in a free pair of slacks.
Whoa! Whoa! Of the permanent press variety?
As permanent as the stars.
Woo! Call me a truck and slap me till Wednesday.
You're a truck, Artie. You're a truck.
Well, what do you know? Hey, kids, your old pal Artie's on TV.
The adultification of Artie had begun, and it wasn't pretty.
How strong is our new Krebstar super sighting? Its twin polymer coating stands up to hail, heat, and even a full-grown man running into it repeatedly at full speed.
Strong as Kansas.
There you have it.
Artie, what are you doing?
It was as if Artie had run over Pete's heart with a backhoe. He had sold out to the enemy.
You too will enjoy the feeling of the pleasure ridges.
I'm sorry, Pete.
Out there in the real world, a man's got to make a living, son.
It was a victory for adults everywhere, as well as one scab-encrusted kid, Paper Cut. He knew that with Artie gone for good, Pete was as good as gone.
Ashes to ashes, pulp to pulp.
He was once a superhero who fought for kids everywhere. But after being brainwashed and broken by supervillain McFlemp, the only thing Artie fought for now was a sale.
Morning, ma'am. I'm here to talk to you about the miracle of aluminum siding.
With Artie out of the picture, the international adult conspiracy began their crackdown.
Wellsville. We are finally free. No pressure, son. I think he knows what to do.
McFlemp was in charge now, and he wouldn't stop until the memory of Artie went up in flames.
Let us purge, neighbor.
of the poison that was Artie.
It seemed unreal. Wasn't this where Artie jumps in and saves the day? Where was he?
Ah! Pink on the inside, crisperoonie on the outside. Just the way we like 'em in America.
It was a friendship that was supposed to last forever. But the Artie that Pete once knew no longer existed. Now the only thing left to say was goodbye.
Well, well, well. Like pages on a pad. We always wind up together.
Why don't you just lay off, Paper Cut?
Isn't that cute? Now the girls are fighting your battles.
What do you want, you fiber-licking blowhole?
A rematch. Rock, paper, scissors. And this time, you're gonna lose. No, not now. Friday. I want the whole school to watch you lose.
You're gonna throw a rock, right? He's just a stupid mutant. Who cares if he wins?
Yeah, take a dive. Don't get cut.
Hey, Pete. You gonna show that paper cut kid a thing or two?
Yeah, my wrist when I lose.
What? You gonna give in? Hey, that doesn't sound like the Pete Wrigley I know.
That's because I'm not.
Hey, son, you want me to show you some jujitsu, you know, I picked up in the Army?
No, Dad.
Well, I know you miss Artie, but I can be your superhero.
Dad knew if Pete took a dive the next day, he'd be sunk forever.
Are you happy? You got the son you always wanted.
I just wanted us to get closer. I didn't think it would come to this.
22 lights out.
Maybe Dad couldn't be Pete's superhero, but if he got lucky, he could find someone who was.
Remember, if all else fails, he loves the smell of tire air.
And armpit sounds. He says it reminds him of his mother.
Check.
Morning, Don. Finally hauling that thing to the dump?
No, McFlimp. I'm gonna bring Artie back.
Oh, Wrigley, what are you talking crazy?
Get out of the way, John. No pressure.
You'll never find him.
I'll find him all right.
Oh, Randy! Makifa! Please come in. Bunga Gruba, as they say in the country. Hey, everybody! It's the Klein markers!
Dad tried through the night to call Artie, but it was useless. All Dad could do was watch the light fade out, the dawn fade up, and his hopes of saving Pete's spirit disappear forever.
If all else fails,
Thank God it's Friday. A little insect problem, do you? Puses!
Dad did the best he could, but the smell of tire air couldn't hide the stench of defeat.
Sorry, son.
Ah, it's repulsive.
Artie! Artie!
It's strangely compelling.
Artie, it's me, Don. Don't you remember?
Hey, buddy. There's no returns on sighting once it's already on the house.
You're not a salesman. No, you're Artie, the strongest man in the world. Pipe. Oh, where's Pete when I need him?
Pete? Pete?
Don't you remember Pete? He's in trouble and he needs you.
Pete. My little Viking. Trouble? Hey! Pow! Indeed! Bazoom! I'm quite large again, Pappy! Onward!
Doomsday morning, we all turned out to see Pete off into oblivion.
Throw rock, Pete. You can do it.
Yeah, still be your friends.
Yeah. Let's get this over with.
Well. Pete Wrigley. Thanks for coming.
You want me to help?
No. I've got to do this alone.
Paper beats rock. Rock beats scissors. Scissors beat paper. You lose, you live. Say, why don't I spot you? I'll throw first. Let's see, what shall it be? Oh, I know. Paper.
What is it that makes a superhero? Is it muscles of steel? The ability to see through brick walls? To turn yourself into a human butane torch? Or is it smaller? Like with Artie, a way of looking at the world and making everything in it a little bit stranger and a little bit better.
Suborbital meteor. What? You can't throw that.
We could all see it. The power that made Artie had been passed along to my brother Pete.
Meteor melts rock, crushes scissors, and burns paper. You lose, you cheese log.
You! I warned you what would happen.
Go ahead, paper cut. I'll never cave.
And as the power surged through Pete, it started to surge through the other kids too.
You better have a piece of paper for me. I throw a volcano, covers rock, melts scissors, and burns paper.
Monsoon mashes paper. Dune buggy, it crushes paper.
No! No! I'm paper cut! You can't!
Yeah.
Artie, you should have been there. I crumpled paper cut. It was great. It was like you were there with me. I could feel you there. Where were you? What happened to you? Artie? What is it?
Well,
had a thing I did. You and me for years.
Artie had something to tell Pete. It wasn't just the story of being tricked by Dad or hired by McFlemp or working for 10% commission. It was the story of a superhero and a kid who ruled at dodgeball, waltzed the lunar landscape, and beat up the Atlantic Ocean. Until one day, the kid finally learned all there was to learn from his friend. And it was time for the superhero to move on.
Not the same. And you are a different Viking now. Yes, I have to go.
No!
Yes. Everything you need to learn is in here. Out there is some boy who needs me. He's small. He's puny, like you were.
But Artie, you're my best friend.
I always will be, my little Viking.
But will I ever see you again?
Worry not, boy. Worry not. For I am Artie, the strongest man. For the world.
I'll leave the light on for you.
You know, son, I'm gonna miss that mutant.
Was Artie gone for good? I guess we couldn't know, but one thing was for sure. A part of Artie would always be with us, watching over us, like the heroes in our dreams, like the stars in the sky.